Hello guys, what's up? Hope you are doing great. Today in this video, I am going to share a very impressive and inspirational story of Job Steve from his wonderful speech, and it is about love and loss. So first of all, let's know who was Steve Jobs. Stephen Paul Jobs was an American inventor, designer, and entrepreneur who was the co-founder, chief executive, and chairman of Apple Computer. So in his speech, he says he was lucky that he found what he loved to do early in his life was, and he started Apple in his parents' garage when he was 20. They worked hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of them in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. So they had just released their finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and he had just turned 30. And then he got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? Well, as Apple grew, they hired someone who he thought was very talented to run the company, and for the first year or so, things went well. But then their visions of the future began to diverge, and eventually they had a falling out. When they did, their board of directors sided with him. So at 30, he was out, and very publicly out. What had been the focus of his entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating, right? So he really didn't know what to do for a few months, and he felt that he had let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down, that he had dropped the baton and it was being passed to him. He met with David Packard and Bob Noyce and tried to apologize for screwing up so badly. He was a very public failure, and he even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on him. He still loved what he did, and the turn of events at Apple had not changed that one bit. He had been rejected, but he was still in love, and so he decided to start over. He didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to him. The heaviness of being success was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. He says it freed him to enter one of the most creative periods of his life. During the next 5 years, he started a company named Next, another company named Pixar, and fell in love with his amazing woman who would become his wife. Pixar went on to create the world's first computer animated feature film Toy Story, and is now the most successful animation studio in the world. So, in a remarkable turn of events, Apple bought Next. He says he returned to Apple, and the technology that developed at Next is at the heart of Apple's current renaissance. So he says he was pretty sure none of this would have happened if he hadn't been fired from Apple. And it was awful testing medicine, but he guessed the patient needed it. His entire message to students was sometimes life hits you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith. He's convinced that the only thing that kept him going was he loved what he did. We have got to find what we love, and that is as true for your work as it for your lovers. Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking, don't settle. As with all matters of the heart, you will know when you find it. And And like any great relationship, it just gets better and better as the years roll on. So keep looking until you find it done, set up.